If your receiver experiences tightened forearm and has pain or possibly carpal tunnel type sensations, just be aware of the amount of pressure that you are giving your receiver, as they may not be able to receive as much pressure as someone that's not already having a lot of tightness and tension here. Also be aware, we have the nerves that come through, and so it may get a little sensitive near the elbow. So just be aware to not apply too much pressure, as we're just kind of rhythmically leaning in and doing some compressions. And I have to add this one in. We didn't talk about doing this one, but I have to add in just a quick little hand stretch because I find that this is so important. So you can see I have her hand. And just don't push any further or harder than she can receive. And I'm just letting her hand open. Andrea, is that pressure good for you?
Yes.
All day we're holding things, gripping. So it's nice to reverse that and just give a little opening. So you can keep on your computer. So since we're right here, I have Andrea's hand. I also have her glutes right here, which she's been sitting in the chair all day. Or maybe she's been standing at her stand-up desk and her glutes and quads are getting tight. But look, I have her hand right here. I can do a little compression with my foot and pull with my hand on her arm.
Yeah.
Come back, do a little compression. And so you can use bony landmarks to kind of figure out where you're supposed to be. I can feel the top of her hip right here. So I'm gonna be right below that. And as we're rocking Andrea, your receiver, this rocking will relieve tension in her erectors, the muscles that go along the spine up to her neck. You can see by the movement, her neck is moving, so we're working on those muscles too, as I'm working on her glutes.
It feels amazing.
So if you'll go ahead and switch to the quad anatomy, so I can show that real quick before we go into some quad work. These muscles here make up our quadriceps. When you sit at the computer desk all day, you may be shortening your muscles as you're sitting at the desk. Say if you do any hobbies of any sort, right, sport-wise, definitely gonna have some tight quads. Many reasons why we'll have tight quads. So with my left foot, I'm gonna loop it underneath Andrea's leg. With my right foot, I'm gonna go right to the top. You'll feel where it feels like it fits right in. And you just kind of give a good compression. Andrea, how's that pressure?
Amazing. So
do be aware, your receiver's hand is really close to you. So you might just move it out a little bit. If they're not your partner, if they're just your friend, right? You may want to be more concerned about how your receiver is feeling. You don't want them to feel like they're in any areas that are uncomfortable. So do be aware that the side of your foot is sharp. You can see here I'm kind of using the side. Andrea likes some deep pressure. She's a busy lady.
Yes.
But if your receiver doesn't like as much pressure, keep it a little more general. So I'm going to move that. So instead of having it to the side, you might have it a little more broad here. Then also be aware, your left foot, it might be bony across the top. If your receiver is feeling like it's a little too much here, all you have to do is turn it sideways, just to give it a little bit of a more broad structure for your leg to rest on, right? So I like to do this compression hold for a little bit, slowly let out. So as the way I have her leg at an angle here, I'm able to get these quads. I'm gonna come in for a second. Compression here at the top of her quads. Would you like any more pressure?
Sure.
So you can see my knee isn't quite straightened. I'm just gonna straighten that bad boy out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have low back pain, right? And oftentimes that pain could be coming from Over tighten quads, pulling everything forward. So by doing this, we're loosening the quads to relieve some of the tension above and below. Always come in slow, always leave slow. These compressions can be very deep, so we don't want to be abrupt entering or leaving to create a different reaction within the muscle. We don't want it to spasm or lock up to protect. And you can keep going down the quad. I'm actually now entering a little bit more IT band, so I'm going to bring her leg up a little more because I was straightening her leg out a little bit. How's that compression, Andrea? Good?
Great.
Always check in with your receiver, make sure that they don't want more pressure or less. Good communication is the best way to do this work. So I'm going to come out slow. A little more glute rocking, softening. And we're going to go to the other side. All right, once again, we're going to come in, just do some rhythmic compressions. I kind of think of making snakes in Play-Doh when I do this. We're just opening up, warming up these muscles. They've been overused all day, typing on a computer. If you're also a parent of young children, these muscles can get overused by holding kids and working with the other arm, so it's great to just kind of open them up and give them a little attention. Don't forget about the pecs. Will come up right here at the front of the shoulder, not on the bone, right? And just do a nice broad compression. For most people that work at computer desks, they have forward shoulders. So do be aware as to how much pressure you're giving with your right hand. Make sure it's something that's comfortable to where they don't feel like they need to protect. They can just receive it and feel more open. I'm moving the right hand down the arm and letting my left hand stay still as it's holding this compression in the forearm. And once again, remember that it might get sensitive right through here as there's nerves that pass through. I'm going to slowly let my left hand, you can see the blood's going to start rushing back to her hand. And I'm going to go for another compression here. Whenever you feel a different tone of muscle, if you feel like a more dense muscle, that most likely is where an area that needs some attention. But always make sure that as you're working, you let your receiver know that if they ever have anything they need to tell you as far as, move a little up, a little down, that communication should be open so that you can help them to the best of your ability. So after we've opened the arm, opened the pec a little bit, I'm going to sit next. So earlier I believe I might have been sitting on my feet like this. I want to show you a different way that you can do this work, right? So you can sit sideways like this. And we're just going to do some traction, a little slide. We're addressing muscles on both sides of her arm right now. Her flexors and her extensors are getting a little attention. Come down to the hand. You can pull. It's like milking the hand, giving that a thumb some attention because it's been busy all day.